This is Naperville, and you guys, this is what every other Chicago suburb wishes it could be. And while most suburbs are just bedroom communities, Naperville built something completely different. A full-fledged city 28 miles west of the best city in the world, aka Chicago. And I'm breaking down exactly why families pay over $500,000 for the median home here. And it's not just your typical reasons like the school ratings. But first, I'm Brandon.blankenship, a Chicagoland realtor helping people just like you move in and around the Chicago suburbs. And I want to be your real estate resource of choice when you are ready to make that move. Just head to the description and hit the link or shoot me an email. And here's what most people miss out about Naperville. While other Chicago suburbs built themselves as places where you just sleep and commute from, Naperville had a completely different vision from the start. Walk through downtown Naperville on any given weekend and you'll see what I mean. Over 150 stores, restaurants, and more packed into a walkable, vibrant downtown district. And you guys, this isn't just some manufactured lifestyle center. This is a genuine urban core that rivals what you'd find in much larger cities. And now here's where it gets really interesting. The Naperville Riverwalk, this 1.75 mile linear park along the DuPage River, was built back in 1981 to celebrate the city's 150th anniversary. Most suburbs that age are just starting to think about creating gathering spaces, and Naperville was decades ahead, investing in public infrastructure that brings people together. But wait until you see the numbers on Naperville's job market that I'm breaking down in just a few minutes. The concentration of major employers here is going to surprise you. And first though, let me show you what this infrastructure actually looks like day to day. Compare that to other Chicago suburbs where you're driving the big box stores and there's no central gathering place, no downtown to walk through on a Saturday afternoon, and truthfully, that lack of community heart changes everything about how people experience suburban life. And speaking of infrastructure, the difference really shows up in how the community operates. Naperville has 140 parks maintained by a nationally accredited park district, and they're running over 7,500 events and programs every single year. 2 championship golf courses, Centennial Beach and the Knock Knolls Nature Center, and an extensive trail network that connects neighborhoods across the city. When you have spaces designed to bring people together like this, community happens naturally. And let me tell you about the event calendar here because it's unlike anything else in the suburbs. The Last Fling, a full Christkindl market, St. Patrick's Day parade, and these are small neighborhood gatherings. These are regional events in the Chicago suburbs that draw people across from all Chicagoland, but they're happening in your backyard if you live in Naperville. Most Chicago suburbs have a summer festival and maybe a holiday event here and there, but Naperville has something going on pretty much every single weekend. That constant activity creates energy and vibrancy you just don't find in traditional suburban communities. And this infrastructure matters because it creates the kind of lifestyle most suburbs can only dream about offering. Whether you're raising young kids who need quality parks or you're looking for a vibrant social scene without driving into the city, this level of community infrastructure delivers daily value. And this foundation sets up everything else that makes Naperville special, starting with the schools. And hey, before we go any further, if you haven't yet, go ahead, hit the subscribe button, as well as leave a like on this video because we bring out content just like this every single week when it comes to living here in the Chicago suburbs. But you guys know what's wild? Naperville doesn't just have one top-ranked school district. It has 2 of the best in the entire country serving the same city. Naperville is served by 2 school districts, Indian Prairie School District 204 and Naperville Community Unit School District 203. And you guys, both of these districts received A+ overall grades from niche.com in 2025. But here's what's wild. Indian Prairie District 204 ranks number 9 in the state out of 407 districts and number 36 nationally out of 10,394 districts. Naperville District 203 ranks number 11 in Illinois and number 51 nationally. Let that sink in for just a second. You're looking at 2 districts, both in the same city, both ranked in the top 75 in the entire country, and you'll want to keep this in mind when we talk about the real estate market coming up because the school rankings are driving a huge portion of buyer competition here in Naperville. I show homes across the entire Chicago Western Suburbs, and while there are other communities with strong schools, the consistency you get in Naperville is unmatched. In most suburbs, you've got 1 or 2 highly rated schools. In Naperville, excellence is the baseline across the board. And here's the reality. This educational quality is driving a huge portion of the real estate market. Families are paying a premium to be in these boundaries, and they're not questioning whether it's worth it. The school quality matters beyond just rankings. For families prioritizing education, having 2 top-tier districts means you got options no matter where you buy in Naperville. Whether you're relocating with elementary-aged kids or teenagers, you're getting access to some of the best public education in America. And when you combine that with the community infrastructure we just covered, you start to see why Naperville commands premium pricing. And now let's look at the economic foundation that makes all of this sustainable. Here's the part that really separates Naperville from every other Chicago suburb. Most communities talk about being a great place to live, and Naperville built an economy that actually supports that claim. Most suburbs in the Chicago area work work as commuter towns. You live there, you sleep there, but you work somewhere else. Usually downtown Chicago or maybe a nearby office park, and your suburb doesn't have its own economic identity. Naperville flipped that model completely. With around 150,000 residents, Naperville is one of the largest cities in all of Illinois, and it's a home to a genuinely diverse employer base that spans healthcare, education, technology, utilities, and corporate sectors. Let me break down the top employers for you. Edward Hospital and Health Services is a major regional employer. Indian Prairie School District 204 employs 3,025 people. NICOR's headquarters has hundreds of employees, and the city of Naperville itself employs just under 1,000 people. But here's what makes this really powerful, and I'll show you this in the real estate section. But when you have this many local jobs, the housing market behaves completely differently during economic downturns. More on that in just a minute, and you guys, I'm just getting started. Kihi Distribution Company with hundreds of local employees. This is a top 10 list, and we're still talking about companies with hundreds of employees each. That level of local employment changes everything. It means you might not need to commute to Chicago at all. It means there's a strong tax-based funding city services. It means when there's a national economic downturn, Naperville has multiple industries to rely on instead of being tied to one sector. But let's say you need to commute to Chicago for work, and Naperville has 2 metro stations with service on the BNSF railway line, and you're looking at roughly about 45 to 50 minutes to Union Station in downtown Chicago on an express train. And here's what I tell people who are weighing whether the higher home prices in Naperville are worth it. Factor in the commute time you're saving and the potential for finding work locally. Those aren't just conveniences. They're real advantages that directly impact your quality of life and your family time. This economic depth matters because it creates stability most suburbs simply don't have. Whether you're looking for local career opportunities or you need reliable commute options to Chicago, Naperville gives you both. For professionals who want flexibility without sacrificing quality of life, this combination is increasingly rare in the Chicago suburbs. And this economic strength directly supports the real estate dynamics we're about to explore. Now, here's where all of these factors come together in numbers that tell the real story. Naperville's real estate market isn't just strong, it's operating on a completely different level than surrounding suburbs. The median home price in Naperville was holding steady above $500,000 in October 2025, and you guys, inventory is down over 20% since the summer. What does that tell you? This is a strong seller's market with high buyer urgency. Now, most markets cool down in the fall and the winter, and people stop looking as hard once school starts and the holidays approach. But Naperville, the demand stays strong year-round because people recognize the value that they're getting. And truly, when I show comparable homes in other suburbs, people start to understand the Naperville premium pretty quickly. Yes, you're probably paying more upfront, but you're getting a community infrastructure most suburbs will probably never have. And you're getting school districts in the top 1% nationally. You're getting a local job market that provides flexibility and options. And let me put this into perspective. There are suburbs near Chicago where median home prices are similar or even higher than Naperville. Places like Hinsdale or Winnetka, but those communities don't offer the same balance of amenities, job opportunities, and community infrastructure in my opinion. They're beautiful, historic, and definitely pricey, but they're traditional suburbs in the way Naperville just simply isn't. And here's something else that matters. Naperville's market has limited land for new construction. The city is pretty much built out, and that scarcity is keeping property values strong and creating competition among buyers. So if you're a seller, this can be a great opportunity. Compare that to some of the further out suburbs where inventory is sitting longer and price reductions are becoming more common. The difference comes down to fundamentals. Naperville built something sustainable, a real community with economic depth and quality of life amenities that justify the investment. This market strength matters because it protects your investment. Whether you're buying as a primary residence or considering long-term appreciation, Naperville's fundamentals create stability. For families who want to invest in a community where they'll enjoy living while building equity, this market performance validates everything we've covered. And that brings us to what all of this really means for you. So what does all of this add up to? Why does it matter that Naperville is the opposite of most Chicago suburbs? Because if you're looking for a place to raise a family, build wealth, and genuinely enjoy where you live, Naperville offers something most suburbs can't match. It's not trying to be a quiet bedroom community where nothing happens. It's not hoping that someday it'll have a real downtown or attract major employers. Naperville already did that work. It built the infrastructure, attracted the businesses, invested in the schools and parks and public spaces, and now it's reaping the benefits. You're getting a walkable downtown where you can meet friends for dinner without driving to downtown Chicago. You're getting schools that compete with anywhere in the country, and you're getting a park system that rivals major cities, but also you're getting job opportunities that might eliminate your commute entirely. Is it more expensive than other suburbs? Yes, but here's what I tell people. You're not just buying a house in Naperville. You're buying into a complete ecosystem that's designed to support your life, your career, and your family's future. And when you look at it that way, when you factor in everything everything Naperville provides, the value becomes incredibly clear in my opinion. This complete package matters because it eliminates the compromises most people might have to accept with suburban living. Whether you're prioritizing schools, community, career flexibility, or long-term investment potential, Naperville truly delivers on all fronts. For families who refuse to settle for a bedroom community and want the full urban experience in a suburban setting, this is exactly what you've been looking for and one of the Chicago suburbs on the list for that. And if you're ready to explore what's available in Naperville right now, let's talk about your next steps. And look, Naperville isn't trying to compete with other Chicago suburbs. It already won for so many families and individuals. The question isn't whether it's worth a premium. The true question is if it's the right fit for you and your family, which is honestly all that matters. And if you're seriously considering Naperville or the Chicago suburbs and want to explore what's available right now before inventory gets even tighter, shoot me an email or click the link down below in the description, as I would be honored to serve you on this move. And before you go, if Naperville's medium price has you wondering about other options, you need to watch this next video where I break down the 5 best value Chicago suburbs in 2025. I'm talking about places with 8% annual appreciation, top ranked schools, and median home prices as low as $450,000, including one suburb that niche ranked the #1 best place to live in all of America. And it's way more accessible than you think. Check it out right here, and thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys on the next video.